Question 92. Which of the following are attributes that determine the cost of on-demand EC2 instance? Select 3 options. And the options are A. Instance type, B. Operating system, C. Reason, D. Edge location. And the correct answers are option A. Instance type, B. Operating system, and option C. Reason. Explanation. The key factors that influence AWS EC2 pricing are as follows. 1. Reason. 2. Purchasing options. 3. Usage duration. 4. Instance size. 5. Instance type and generation. 6. Processor optimization and use of burst. 7. Use of elastic graphics and elastic inference. 8. Software stack. 9. Tenancy type. Option D is incorrect. Edge location is a CloudFront terminology. It will not impact EC2 cost. Next question. A company is looking for AWS storage for their archived data. Their top priority is low storage cost. Since data is rarely retrieved, a retrieval time of 12 to 14 hours is acceptable. What is the most suitable storage option for them? And the options are A. Amazon S3 Glacier, B. S3 Glacier Deep Archive, C. Amazon EBS Volumes, D. AWS EFS. And the correct answer is option B. S3 Glacier Deep Archive. Explanation. S3 Glacier Deep Archive offers the lowest cost storage in the cloud at prices lower than storing and maintaining data in on-premises magnetic tape libraries or archiving data off-site expense or data archiving offerings, enabling you to select the optimal storage class based on storage and retrieval cost and retrieval times. S3 Glacier Deep Archive offers low-cost storage and retrieval time doesn't matter for the company. If the question asks for last retrieval time, then S3 Glacier would be correct. S3 Glacier Deep Archive for archiving long-term backup cycle data that might infrequently need to be restored within 12 hours. Option A is incorrect because S3 Glacier is not cheaper than S3 Glacier Deep Archive. Options C and D are incorrect because they are not suitable for data archive in faster retrieval. Next question. What are the characteristics of Amazon S3? Select 2 options. And the options are A. S3 allows you to store objects of virtually unlimited size. B. S3 allows you to store virtually unlimited amounts of data. C. S3 should be used to host a relational database. D. Objects are directly accessible via a URL. And the answers are option B. S3 allows you to store virtually unlimited amounts of data. And D. Objects are directly accessible via a URL. Explanation. Each object does have a limitation in S3, but you can store virtually unlimited amounts of data. Also, each object gets a directly accessible URL. Option A is incorrect. S3 has storage limits. Object size limit on S3 is 5 TB. Option C is incorrect. S3 doesn't use a relational database. Next question. Which AWS service provides a fully managed NoSQL database service that provides fast and predictable performance with seamless scalability? And the options are A. AWS RDS, B. DynamoDB, C. AWS Redshift, D. AWS Lake Formation. And the correct answer is option B. DynamoDB. Explanation. Amazon DynamoDB is a fully managed serverless key-value NoSQL database designed to run high-performance applications at any scale. DynamoDB offers built-in security, continuous backups, automated multi-region replication, in-memory caching, and data export tools. Option A is incorrect. Amazon Relational Database Service is a managed SQL database service provided by Amazon Web Services. Amazon RDS supports an array of database engines to store and organize data. Option C is incorrect. Amazon Redshift is a fully managed data warehouse service in the cloud. Option D is incorrect. AWS Lake Formation is the service that makes it easy to set up a secure data lake in days. A data lake is a centralized, curated, and secured repository that stores all your data, both in its original form and prepared for analysis. A data lake lets you break down data silos and combine different types of analytics to gain insights and guide better business decisions. Next question. In the AWS Billing and Management Service, which tool will allow the user to graphically visualize billing and uses over time, particularly monthly running cost? And the options are A. AWS Bills, B. AWS Cost Explorer, C. AWS Reports, D. AWS Budgets. And the correct answer is option B. AWS Cost Explorer. Explanation. AWS Cost Explorer allows the user to generate a graphical representation of their billing and uses over time. Option A is incorrect because AWS Bills will list the historical cost that would have been incurred over the past month with granular options. The tool will not give the graphical visualization as specified in the question. Option C is incorrect because AWS Reports will give a composite overview of cost and uses. The tool gives a granular perspective of uses and billing but without a graphical output. Option D is incorrect because AWS Budgets will give the user the status of user set budgets and provide forecast of estimated cost. The tool will not give a graphical representation of the data. Next question. A company is deploying a 3-tier, highly available web application in AWS. Which service provides durable storage for static content for the web tier? And the options are A. Amazon EBS Volume, B. Amazon S3, C. Amazon EC2 Instance Store, D. Amazon Elasticsearch. And the correct answer is option B. Amazon S3. Explanation. Amazon S3 is the default storage service that provides durable storage for all static content. Amazon Simple Storage Service is an object storage service that offers industry-leading scalability, data availability, security, and performance. Option A is incorrect because Amazon EBS Volume is a block-level storage device. The question asks for storage that will be helpful for the high availability of web applications, but this storage device is only be attached to EC2 instances. Option C is incorrect because the instance stored is ideal for temporary storage because the data stored in instance store volumes is not persistent through instance stops, terminations, or hardware failures. Option D is incorrect. Amazon Elasticsearch Service is a managed service that makes it easy to deploy, operate, and scale Elasticsearch in the AWS cloud. Elasticsearch is a popular open source search and analytics engine for use cases such as log analytics, real-time application monitoring, and clickstream analytics. Next question. An AWS consulting company normally creates the same set of resources for their clients. Basically, they are looking for a way to build templates that can be reused to deploy resources to the various AWS accounts owned by their clients. It is also important to make sure that your team has control over the infrastructure. What AWS service can help with this requirement? And the options are A. AWS ECS, B. AWS OpsWorks, C. Amazon EKS, D. AWS CloudFormation. And the correct answer is option D. AWS CloudFormation. Explanation. As per AWS documentation, AWS CloudFormation is a service that helps you model and set up your AWS resources so that you can spend less time managing those resources and more time focusing on your applications that run in AWS. You create a template that describes all the AWS resources that you want like Amazon EC2 instances or Amazon RDS DB instances. And CloudFormation takes care of provisioning and configuring those resources for you. Options A and C are incorrect. AWS ECS and EKS are basically container management technologies. They provide on-demand, right-sized compute capacity for containers. Option B is incorrect because AWS OpsWorks is a configuration management service that helps you configure and operate applications in a cloud enterprise by using Puppet or Chef. Next question. Which AWS service allows you to adjust the number of resources based on the traffic pattern? And the options are A. AWS ELB, B. AWS Autoscaling, C. AWS CloudFront, D. AWS CloudWatch. And the correct answer is option B. AWS Autoscaling. Explanation. AWS Autoscaling monitors your applications and automatically adjusts capacity to maintain steady, predictable performance at the lowest possible cost. Using AWS Autoscaling, it's easy to set up application scaling for multiple resources across multiple services in minutes. Option A is incorrect. Elastic load balancing automatically distributes incoming application traffic across multiple targets and virtual appliances in one or more availability zones. Option C is incorrect. Amazon CloudFront is a content delivery network operated by Amazon Web Services. Content delivery networks provide a globally distributed network of proxy servers that cache content such as web videos or other bulky media more locally to consumers, thus improving access speed for downloading the content. Option D is incorrect. Amazon CloudWatch is a monitoring and management service that provides data and actionable insights for AWS, hybrid and on-premises applications and infrastructure resources. Next question. Which EFS file system can provide some microseconds latency for read operations? And the options are A. Standard IA storage class with general purpose performance mode, B. Standard storage class with max IO performance mode, C. One zone storage class with general purpose performance mode, D. One zone storage class with max IO performance mode. And the correct answer is option C. One zone storage class with general purpose performance mode. Explanation. For read operations, Amazon EFS one zone and standard storage classes with general purpose performance mode provide some millisecond latency. With standard storage class with max IO, performance mode read latency is a millisecond, but customers get higher IOPS for both read and write operations. Option A is incorrect, as Amazon EFS standard infrequent access storage class with general purpose performance mode supports double-digit milliseconds latency for read operations. Option B is incorrect, as with standard storage class with max IO performance mode supports milliseconds of latency with higher IOPS for both read and write operations. Option D is incorrect, as this is an invalid option. One zone storage class always uses general purpose performance mode. Next question. A company hosted its long-running critical application on a set of EC2 instances. The company hired a third-party provider to revise the infrastructure and ensure that its infrastructure is cost-effective in the long term. More than 100 EC2 instances are up and running all the time to support the business operation. What can you do to lower the cost? And the options are A. Use on-demand instances, B. Use spot instances, C. Request stop block instances, D. Use reserved instances. And the correct answer is option D. Use reserved instances. Explanation. When you have instances that will be used continuously and throughout the year, the best option is to buy reserved instances. By buying reserved instances, you actually allocate an instance for the entire year or the duration you specify with the reduced cost. Option A is incorrect. On-demand instances are expensive compared to reserved instances. Option B and C are incorrect. Spot instances are not an ideal solution for long-running application hosting. Spot blocks allow you to request Amazon EC2 spot instances for 1 to 6 hours at a time to avoid being interrupted, but this is also not ideal for long-term uses. Next question. A startup firm is planning to migrate its on-premise application. Their goal was to rapidly deploy and manage applications in the AWS cloud without having to learn about the infrastructure that runs those applications. Also wants to automate deployment and set up auto-scaling. Additionally, they will set up a database along with the application. Which AWS solution would be the easiest to meet these requirements? And the options are A. AWS Elastic Beanstalk, B. AWS ECS, C. AWS Code Pipeline, D. AWS Code Build. And the correct answer is option A. AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Explanation. The Elastic Beanstalk is an easy-to-use service for deploying and scaling web applications and services. With Elastic Beanstalk, you can quickly deploy and manage applications in the AWS cloud without having to learn about the infrastructure that runs those applications. Elastic Beanstalk reduces management complexity without restricting choice or control. You simply upload your application and Elastic Beanstalk automatically handles the details of capacity provisioning, load balancing, scaling, and application health monitoring. Elastic Beanstalk supports applications developed in Go, Java, Net, Node.js, PHP, Python, and Ruby. When you deploy the application, Elastic Beanstalk builds the selected supported platform version and provisions one or more AWS resources, such as Amazon EC2 instances, to run your application. Usually, Elastic Beanstalk will be the right answer if the question has a reference like easy management and deployment. Options C and D are incorrect because code build used to build the application and pipeline deployed the application to different environments, not suitable for the scenario explained in the question. Option B is incorrect because Elastic Beanstalk is the easiest compared to ECS. Next question. Which of the following statements about CloudFront is true? Select 3 options. And the options are A. CloudFront can cache dynamic content. B. CloudFront allows users to enable or disable logging. C. CloudFront delivers your content through a worldwide network of data centers called edge locations. D. CloudFront cannot use ELB as their origin server. And the answers are A. CloudFront can cache dynamic content. B. CloudFront allows users to enable or disable logging. And option C. CloudFront delivers your content through a worldwide network of data centers called edge locations. Explanation. Option A is correct. CloudFront can cache the dynamic content. Option B is correct. Amazon CloudFront provides different kinds of logging. You can log the requests that come to your CloudFront distributions, or you can log the CloudFront service activity in your AWS account. Option C is correct. This is a true statement. CloudFront delivers your content through edge locations. Option D is incorrect. CloudFront has been opened to use origin servers of your choice that can be S3 or a custom origin like EC2, ELB, etc. Option E is incorrect. CloudFront has the ability to customize content at the edge location before delivering it to its users. Next question. Your company is planning to host a financial application on the AWS cloud. DDoS attacks pose a major security concern for them. Which of the following services can help mitigate this? And the options are A. CloudFront, B. AWS Shield, C. AWS Security Groups, D. AWS NACL. And the correct answers are option A. CloudFront and option B. AWS Shield. Explanation. AWS offers globally distributed high network bandwidth and resilient services that, when used in conjunction with application-specific strategies, are key to mitigating DDoS attacks. For more information on how to leverage each of these services and details on how their various features help protect against DDoS attacks, see the white paper AWS Best Practices for DDoS Resiliency. AWS Shield. AWS Shield is a managed DDoS protection service that is available in two tiers, standard and advanced. AWS Shield Standard applies always-on detection and inline mitigation techniques, such as deterministic packet filtering and priority-based traffic shaping, to minimize application downtime and latency. AWS Shield Standard is included automatically and transparently to your Elastic Load Balancing load balancers, Amazon CloudFront distributions, and Amazon Route 53 resources at no additional cost. When you use these services that include AWS Shield Standard, you receive comprehensive availability protection against all non-infrastructure layer attacks. Customers who have the technical expertise to manage their own monitoring and mitigation of application layer attacks can use AWS Shield together with AWS WAF rules to create a comprehensive DDoS attack mitigation strategy. Amazon CloudFront. Amazon CloudFront distributes traffic across multiple edge locations and filters requests to ensure that only valid HTTPS requests will be forwarded to backend host. CloudFront also supports geo-blocking, which you can use to prevent requests from particular geographic locations from being served. Option C is incorrect. Security group cannot defend the DDoS attacks. It is used to control inside AWS resource access. A security group acts as a virtual firewall, controlling the traffic that is allowed to reach and leave the resources that it is associated with. Option D is incorrect. A network access control list is an optional layer of security for your VPC that acts as a firewall for controlling traffic in and out of none or more subnets. Thank you for watching this video. Buy our AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner CLF-C01 premium questions with 50% off. Check link in the description.